So I'm starting a new series, especially for my YouTube, which is going to be about capsule makeup collections. If, like me, you're beauty obsessive, I have unbelievable numbers of foundations, blushes, bronzers, what have you. And because I'm trying new stuff so often, a lot of my old things, or even relatively new things, just sit in the back of a drawer and I sort of forget about them and then I'll remember them once in a while. But also things never get finished. So to combat this issue, I'm taking some inspiration from some of my favorite no-buy creators and I'm making a capsule makeup collection for, I'm going to say, about 2 weeks. And during those 2 weeks, the only makeup I'm allowed to use outside of stuff that I'm reviewing is everything that's in this bag. So in each of these videos as part of this series, I will go through all of the stuff that I've put in my capsule makeup collection for the weeks. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, I'll come back and say how much I'm enjoying each of these products. Potentially, maybe if I'm not liking them, I can give them away. Or if I'm loving them, then this will help me get through them and I'll remember them more for next time. So starting off with foundation is going to be the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint. Absolutely loved this when I first tried this, but embarrassingly haven't used it more than maybe 2 or 3 times. So this is finally the time for me to decide how much I do love this. So far, I am being reminded of why I loved it so much in the first place. It's definitely looking glowy and smooth. For concealer, it's going to be the Maybelline Eye Eraser. I used to be obsessed with this when I was in school. And then for some reason, it started going viral on TikTok again last year sometime. And I really liked it when I tried it again. But I just don't reach for it over my other concealers because of the applicator. But I do forget how easy it is to blend and how nicely it covers and how smooth it sits on the skin, which it definitely seems to be doing now. For bronzer, it's going to be the Say Dew bronze. I've got this in the shade Salt. I can't remember really what I think of this product. I really like the blusher version of the Dew blush, but I remember being pretty baffled by the shade of this. So yeah, by the end of the 2 weeks, I think I'll decide how much I love this and I'll see it in different lightings. For blusher, it's the Beauty Pie Super Cheek in the shade Nude Perfect. I don't know why I haven't used this in a while because I remember finding it to be like one of the most perfect blush shades I've ever tried when I first tried it. And it applies really nicely, so I'm just really excited to fall back in love with this one. For powder, it's going to be the HMB Cosmetics Soft Focus Loose Powder. I bought this ages ago and it's kind of embarrassing that I haven't even finished it because I really loved it at the time, but just so many great powders have launched since then. So this is one that sort of fell to the back of my cupboard, but I'm excited to see if I love it as much as I did the first time. Just off this application, I'm remembering why I loved it. For brows, I'm going to use this Anastasia Perfect Brow Pencil. I think it's a very sort of underrated eyebrow product. It's really, really easy to use. But because it's in pencil format, I just don't reach for it often because you do sort of need to sharpen it every now and then. At the moment, I'm not remembering why I love this so much, to be honest, but by the end of the 2 weeks, hopefully I'll figure it out and let you know whether it's worth keeping around and sharpening all the time. And then for brow gel, it's the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I use this all the time. To be honest, just including it in this video because I think I'm nearly at the end, so I just sort of want to finish it. For shadow, I'm using the Rose Ink Eyeshadow Duo. These come with like a cream shadow and a shimmer topper. I don't even know if I've used this cream topper before, but I bought this ages ago because Rose Ink were doing some deal where you get a certain % off if you buy more than one product. And then I just honestly never picked it up and I have no idea why. I think I've used the powder shimmer a couple of times, but this will basically be a good sort of introduction to this product. Really liking that cream though, it's blending very smoothly. And I guess I just get the powder and dab that on top. Ooh, that's very pretty, and the cream sort of helps it stick to the eyelid. I don't actually have that many liquid liners, but I'm so close to the end of this Rare Beauty liner. It's the Perfect Strokes one. It's probably been my favorite liquid eyeliner that I've tried so far, and to be honest, even though I've had it for so long and used it basically every day, it is still going really strong, but this is going to be my attempt to finish it again. For mascara, I'm going to use the relatively new Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerized. Absolutely adore how this mascara looks on my eyes, and it's so volumizing and separating and really like fans your lashes out. But I absolutely cannot figure out if this is a tubing mascara or not. Like, it doesn't really remove like a tubing mascara. And the first couple times I used it, it did smudge slightly, but then the second couple times I used it, it didn't smudge at all. You might not have seen my page before on TikTok, but any mascara that isn't tubing basically smudges on me. So more than anything, I'm really looking out for the wear of this one every day that I'm going to be using it for the next 2 weeks. Last but not least, for lips, I'm going to use the Be Perfect Cosmetics Lip Library. This is in the shade Soulmate. This is definitely one of the nicest shades I've found for like a nude lip for pale skin. Basically, I'm one of those people, I own like hundreds of lipsticks and I only use the same one every single day because it's just the easiest one. It's my go-to. So I'm really going to use this capsule concept to try and use more lipsticks more often. Okay, so that's my makeup using everything in the capsule collection. Very relieved because it definitely seems like products I can really make work for the next couple of weeks. So I will be back in 2 weeks with my final thoughts on all of these products. It has been officially 2 weeks since I've started using my capsule makeup collection. So let's go through all of the products and and see whether my mind has changed on any of them. Starting off with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint. I think this might become one of my favourite skin tints of all time. I have just been finding this so incredibly satisfying to use. And obviously over the 2 weeks, I've used it over various different forms of skincare and primers and whatever, and it always sits beautifully. It's basically like a guaranteed nice looking product. So the Maybelline Under Eye Eraser, again, really liking this. I have noticed it doesn't have the highest coverage ever. So sometimes during these last 2 weeks, I have been tempted to grab another concealer, but I pushed through. What I absolutely love this for is an incredibly natural finish. Like you can hardly detect it on the face. And also for like no makeup days when I'm only wearing concealer and not really wearing much else, this actually applies the perfect amount of coverage and blends out so easily. And because of the applicator, it just applies such a thin layer that it's basically undetectable on the face. So I've been really loving this for the more natural days. The Say Bronzer, I'm really still not sure where I stand with this. I think I might have gone a bit downhill on it actually. It's just not as easy and satisfying to blend as a lot of my other cream and liquid bronzers. It's a very thick formula, so it sort of stays in the place where you've applied it, which sometimes is really good, especially for contour, and you literally just want to contour like a very specific area or your jawline. It's really good for that. But as a bronzer and as a sort of everyday product, I don't know if I'm going to be picking this up more often, to be honest. The Beauty Pie Cream Blusher, absolutely loving this. Opinion hasn't really changed. I really liked it before, I really like it now. Is it worth getting a Beauty Pie subscription just to get this blusher? Probably not. There are probably quite similar products to this, to be honest, but it's just a sort of solid go-to for an everyday cream blush. For eyebrows, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pencil. I have actually not been loving this. The first time I used it, I swear I really liked it, but it seems to have like built up some sort of like wax over the pencil that means that you basically have to sharpen it every time for pigment to come out. As you can see, I haven't sharpened it since the last time I used it, and it's just a very strange brow product. The reason I liked it so much the first time was because it fills out your brows and looks very subtle. And now I'm realizing the reason it looks subtle is because it's really hard to get pigment out of it. So if it was the pencil that it was every time it's sharpened, I would really like this. But in general, probably won't be reaching for this one too much. The Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, however, still going to be a solid for me. Just a really simple, easy go-to. Is it anything special? Probably not. I do feel like I've found some dupes for it, but is it worth picking up if you're on the Benefit counter and if you've been meaning to try it? Then yes, definitely. It definitely holds your brows in place all day. I also still haven't run out, even though the whole goal of this was to run out of it, so it clearly lasts for ages. Moving on to eyes, this Rose Ink eyeshadow duo, as well as the Danessa Myricks Skin Tint, have probably been my absolute standout products of this last 2 weeks. I have got so many compliments every time I've worn this on my eyes. I really thought it wasn't going to be long lasting because this is a cream, but it really does last long. I mean, it's not like the longest lasting eyeshadow. It does crease a little bit if you've got a lot of creases in your eyes naturally like I do. I'm not wearing it today, by the way, because I was reviewing another eye product. But yeah, the brown cream shadow is literally one of the easiest one and done smoky brown eye shadows ever. And then the glitter topper is just sort of like a nice extra that they've added in. It just works really well together, this. The Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes liner, I still love this just as much as I did when I first tried it. The only thing is that as it's coming to the end of its life, it's just getting either way too inky or way too dry. So to be honest, I feel like I might have completely finished this now that I'm at the end of this 2 weeks. I feel like I'm ready to put it in the bin. I would absolutely repurchase it, but I do love trying new eyeliners, so let me know if you have a favorite one. The HMB Loose Powder, I haven't really changed my mind on this one. I still really like it. I think it's a really great powder for dry skin. It pretty much every time looks smooth and adds the exact amount of mateness that I want. It's not my absolute favorite, literally just because of the packaging that I find a bit too messy compared to some of my pressed powders or loose powders that have like a net or something. But once you've tapped out and actually applied it on your face, I do really like this, so I will be reaching for this more often again. Sorry, I've also just realized that the Charlotte Tilbury mascara will also be one of my standout products from this collection. I am so insanely impressed with this because I still cannot tell if it's a tubing mascara. I don't think it is because it just doesn't remove like a tubing mascara. Like you can rub this off with normal cleanser, you don't use water or anything, but it lasts all day. So if it's not tubing, it's literally the best lasting non-tubing mascara I've ever tried. But it also is incredibly volumizing, and I actually get compliments on my lashes when I wear this. It really does fan out your lashes. So yeah, big fan of this one. The only thing is it's a glass packaging, which is so annoying to carry around, but worth it. And last but not least, the Be Perfect Lip Library. I really like this lipstick. I think it's a really solid sort of everyday lipstick. It feels comfortable on the lips. It's easy to reapply. I just don't know if the color is my favorite compared to the rest of the colors that I have. So I probably will go back to, you know, picking up my favorite color every single day rather than this. But as a lipstick and as a formula, I do think this really works. So that is my first 2 weeks of doing a capsule makeup collection. I definitely think I will continue this series. I've really enjoyed actually getting to deep dive into these products and give my genuinely honest thoughts after actual weeks of use rather than just the first impressions reviews that I usually do. So hopefully you found this helpful as well, and maybe this has inspired you to do the same if you also have too much makeup like me. So I'll be back again with another capsule makeup collection in the next 2 weeks, but other than that, hope you enjoyed this and thank you for watching.